Like this.
Everyone ready?
Joe, this is not working. I think it's full.
Oh.
Full recording years. Okay.
We're ready?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I would like to call to order the Roscoe Village Board meeting Tuesday, October 21st. Shall we stand for the allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Bach. Here.
Babcock.
Here.
Me.
Here.
Simon.
Here.
Right.
Here.
Rhoda.
Here.
Thank you. Oh, Gustafson. Here.
Approval of minutes. May I have a motion to approve the village minutes of our October 7th meeting?
So moved. Second.
Rhoda.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Bach.
Yes.
Babcock.
Yes.
Simon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Public comment. Is there anyone wishing to make public comment? If so, stand, state your name. If not at this time, there is another opportunity at the end of the meeting.
Jerry Brock, I would like to thank the trustees for getting the microphones working in this chambers. It makes a big difference. I know it took 4 years, but it's worth it.
We were striving for perfection.
Yes.
Thank you. Under my report, you have item number 2 in front of you, the Hodges Run Small Business Incubator bid responses. You have something in your documents, and if you would pull that up, we have an opportunity here for Mr. Anderson to explain, and you have a chance to ask questions. We require some kind of guidance as to which way you want to go with this project at the conclusion of the presentation and the Q&A. So, Mr. Anderson.
So essentially, about a month ago, I sent out a recommendation letter after we had met with the board at the last meeting, removing a couple items from the base bid. And so this letter just outlined those 2 items that were chosen. The remove the vestry building, and the labor to erect the pop-up sheds.
So again, looking at bottom line, once those items are removed, the base 1 contract amount, 1,574,000, correct? And a suggestion, if we begin doing something this season, that we build in 50,000 in contingency to cover winter conditions. Would you explain what's anticipated there? Just precautions or extra cost because it's winter?
Extra cost because of winter protection of mainly the concrete portions of the project. I think at this time, I would probably recommend that we wait until next year to eliminate those winter conditions, because the later we start, the more chances. We're also working on some other projects where asphalt is going to be hard to lay, concrete. So I would probably recommend that at this point, just wait until spring. I would talk to Scantarelli and see if they can hold this price until then. I don't want to speak for them, but I think that's probably a good possibility.
And would the same hold true then for running the sanitary to future restaurants?
Yeah,
Ring as
I mean,
well?
it's an option, but you would just have, there's not a lot between where it stops now and where that restroom building would go. So in terms of doing that when the restroom building happens, it's, probably safe to say it's not gonna have a huge impact on the park. It could be blocked off, and extended that time, just in case the bathroom is not done or changed location or the size of it or the scale of it changes, maybe I wouldn't spend that money at this time.
Questions?
What? You had the pricing breakdown. Do we have a list of everything that the 1.1574 million is gonna pay, or what do we get for that?
You basically get the entire park is designed, that's one path that was an alternate, so it wasn't included in the base. And we're just removing the restroom building, and the labor to erect the pop-up, jets. We included that in the bid, because at one time we had lined up volunteer labor through the school to erect those, and then the school wasn't able to do that. So we included that as a line item in our.
What would, now, I know you would have to go back and crunch the numbers, but hypothetically, if we decided that maybe we were overly ambitious in asking for 14 pads, 14 units, and scaled this back to saying that this pop-up market would only have 10 units, for example. Does that end up with a significant cost related to redesign? Or is it nominal, shall we say, whatever?
No, I think design wise, it would be a note that would be added to the drawings, or just something we could communicate to the contractor to eliminate however many of the pads. We did have a previous breakout to just have the pads done, because we were thinking that maybe we would separate those and do those early. And I think those pads were roughly $45,000 to $50. So if you divide that by 14, you get roughly $6,000 or $7,000 per pad. So if you start eliminating them, you could save some money.
Not just a concept of saving money, but we also need to make a best guess. Are we going to have tenants to fill 14
Sure.
all of the time versus 10?
I think just from experience, McHenry also has a similar pop-up area next to their festival park, and I think they have 6.
No, they have more than that.
So
But 6 to 10, so to speak, but it's a board decision here as to how ambitious they want to get. But to repeat, about 6,000 per unit,
yeah, I had to run the math, but
not going to hold you to, just generally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is the full build out minus the restroom. And labor,
and labor, yes.
so the brick path, the parking lot. Playground area,
Correct. So the playground area is designed to be set up for the future equipment.
but that's not including.
It does not include the playground equipment.
Other clarifications? Direction, is this something that we wish to pursue? Or what do you want to do with this?
I think it makes sense to delay since it's late in the year.
Well, those 2 items, but in general, the project.
Well, this is what we talked about already, so this is just coming back to, that's what we routine. You did before. Okay, that's.
So not to put words in your mouth, you still support the project.
Yes,
But
yes,
with the
yes.
cost,
So, yeah,
that
he's just
savings.
updating us on what we told him to do, so.
Does this include exterior material, interior material for those buildings as well?
Those were line item alternates. So it does not include that material. Because again, we didn't know if that was gonna be donated, so just in case we would have a price for it. Again, I would probably suggest if you're gonna delay, maybe we bid those out. Or in that case, or look for volunteer materials and labor.
Would it be a bad guess? And I'm not holding anything to it, but you to it. But with playground equipment, interior, exterior material, bathroom of some sort. The construction cost itself, we're still looking at another $250,000 at least.
Potentially.
So we're looking at we're starting to get close to that $2 million mark again.
My thought is that originally this project was gonna be $1 million project, so we really thought sort of a smaller incubator thing, it ballooned up to over 2 million. Bathroom of $450,000. I was not involved in a lot of these decisions or knew what was going on. We don't have sort of business decisions on how it's gonna be managed on those types of things. So at my point right now, I thought I would just hope we should just really hold back this, not spend the money. And potentially start looking at, look how we're gonna scale this back in a longer version, work on what the business objectives would be, what the, who we would get to run this, what the costs would be from the business perspective of this. To spend from an investment of 1.5 plus potential $250,000 on top of that. I think that that's a lot of money for something that may or may not be successful. I would hate to have that not be successful and be on the hook for that money. So I think at this time, I'd like to hold off on it.
Trustee Broda?
I truly believe this is a good project. At the time though, I definitely think that I would not want to start any construction at this time of year with possible $50,000 contingency. I understand people work slower, you have more protection, you might have more days off, you have to get back out there, set up, break down constantly. But again, we're saying a quarter million, it's closer to a little over $500,000 because the bathroom as it was almost $500,000. Playground equipment, building each of the pop-ups. I'd love to get our ducks in a row on that. As far as 14 or 10 or 6, we can I'd rather have the pads there as part of the project, however we decide to go. And start with 6 pads and get them leased and get them running and get them moving. And we can always add more buildings as we go, as we grow with it, but have room to grow. I'd hate to not have pads and electric set up, then have to start digging holes again after you've already done it once. But again, I think we should probably table the project to the spring. Just because I don't want to see these overages.
Trustee Mead?
Yeah, as much as I'd like to see a shovel in the ground, because what has it been, 2 years since the original concept? And I don't want to continue to delay, but we're at this point to where I think it would be good if we had more time to actually see a breakdown of what we're paying for. So if we waited till spring, we waited this long. Like I said, as much as I'd like to get it going, I think we should hold it over just so that maybe we can get our ducks in a row by the spring. So that way, when we're ready to actually get a shovel in the ground, we know what we're paying for. We know what we're gonna have when we're done.
Trustee Clark?
Yeah, I mean, just knowing how projects work and stuff like that, this
to me was always growth. It's a longer term project. It's not something that was gonna happen in a year or 2 years. But looking at it, I would break it down to even smaller phases. For me, it maybe look at next year, building the playground, giving the residents something right away. Right, and then the following year, put the pads in, start building the nice walking path around that. And then move on to the parking lot or vice versa, do the parking lot, then the pads. You know, but that's how I would break it down. I'd break it down into almost $500,000 increments at a time.
Unless we were getting considerable cost savings by doing big chunks at a time, but it doesn't seem like you're saving that much at once.
Let's go around. Trustee Wright,
Spring. It's spring. I would like to see either the woman from McHenry or the two women at Batavia come in and start a business plan like yesterday. There's probably gonna be some costs incurred on that as far as marketing goes and people and whatever such that's gonna be involved in operating those. I still have some issue. I think we need to do a deeper dive. And if you wanna go $500,000 on that's fine. I still think we're looking at it. In that case, we're still looking at a $2 million project and that's gotta be looked at. But I would go next spring. And I'd like to also learn about, companies that would donate the work. That said, if there's rules or regulations around that.
to summarize. Tell me if I'm doing this incorrectly. There still is support in general for the concept and going ahead with the project. Correct?
Yes.
Secondly, there's consensus that any building that is done will be done in the spring. Third, we would like to see if we could break it up into smaller bits. The problem is, do we have the money? That's just essentially what it is. We'd like to do it in those phases that we can afford. So is that a doable task? Is it possible, for example, within phase one, even breaking up phase one into doable projects? So that we would have those brought before us and we could decide, okay, we'll go ahead with A through D, for example, in the spring, because we have the money for that. And third, last, running parallel, we'll explore the business model for doing this. Is that what I have heard you wish to do? Does that give you direction? We're committed to doing it. We want to do it. We want to do it incrementally based on what we can afford to do.
Sure.
And whatever we start will be in the spring, but the information we'll have to have as we go through months, July. Or January, February, March. Anything else you need from us?
Not right now.
Everyone agreed? This is our path?
Yeah, I would like to see the board intimately involved in a lot of these decisions up front, so we knew what the costs were and sign was, it'd be nice if we could.
Well, we have the design.
Well, I mean, if we have decisions of what, I mean, maybe we don't really know exactly what the design's going, like what's inside of the huts are gonna look like, what the business decision, business development of the business plan will look like, those types of things. Would be nice to-
Yeah, those will. Anything else? Does that
I know
help?
that the McHenry director of their program has invited all of you to come out and visit her out there, and she'll speak out there. We can also invite her. I think Mike might have met her as well. I think we've got a lot of good, she has a lot of good input, I think, on how we run this. I think her recommendation was definitely the less than 14, a smaller group of people. And then her recommendation was you have to have somebody running this, right? So full time, it's not a hobby, it's not a side gig, it's somebody running it. I think most might have their Main Street organization, so hopefully maybe by the end of next year, we'll have our Main Street organization back in swing of it. Sort of late that slow it a little bit, but I think we have that year, that group, or if we get, get some other person to hire to actually run the, as their full-time job is to run that program. But those are the big recommendations we received, and Batavia too, with that with them as well. That's the advice we've received all across the board on this, is that to plan it out, to actually get someone, whose job is to run this program. And then also to less incubators, so.
Mr. Anderson, what might be a realistic expectation of you sending out, whether it be a memo or another presentation or a conversation as to how we can further break this into phases?
Would like probably a couple weeks. Cause it'll involve Scandrolli to break this out further. And we'll give you some decisions to make,
Alright.
maybe the parking lot isn't needed right away. So
End of November? Second meeting of November?
that's fair. Yeah, so 4 weeks from now.
Yes, that works. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. What's going on? Item number 3. Within your documents, you have some information about the Rockton Road corridor study and the work that Place Foundry has done regarding Rockton Road. And you've got an email from Emma indicating how would assess that. Just a general view, you had agreed to employ Place Foundry through December 31st here to focus on the Rockton Road corridor. And as part of that, letters went out to the significant property owners. Meetings are scheduled with those individuals in order to ask them what is it that they would like to see with their property, and to share with them our road projects that we have planned, those that have been engineered, the Brockton, Willowbrook, Curry, Love Road. And then also Place Foundry has prepared an analysis, a market analysis, and a couple of scenarios as to how those various properties can be developed. Now, all of this is within your documents, so please take a look at it. And in 2 weeks, Jeff Mackey will be before you, and you can ask him questions and he'll go through that presentation.
In the future, can you resend us that information out? Like, I mean, it's somewhat difficult to get into that. I don't know where it's.
Yours?
Yeah.
In your documents?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I tried looking at it over the weekend and I kept getting kicked out of our share, whatever that was. Saying at SharePoint, saying I needed to enter a code that was sent to a device I had no
Oh.
access to.
Okay.
It took me about 4 hours, but I was finally able to find a way around the system to get the documents.
Here we just loaded it, but you could bring it up.
No
Sorry.
problem, but I got to it eventually, it's just.
Okay. Well, it's very informative. And it's
Oh, it's-
for-
I have a lot of notes on there.
Send it. Yeah, well, on bill.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Any other requests related to this? Going on. Cash report and the bills. You have before you tonight expenditures invoices totaling $111,934.49. And payroll of $118,405.79. So you are asked this evening to approve expenditures total $230,340.28. May I have a motion to pay the bills?
I had a brief note comment on that. I know that-
First, we do our motion second and then.
So second,
Questions, trustee Simon?
yeah, I know that there's a bill for Place Foundry for $13,000, and I know that we were asking for a credit for the EV station. I was here, I was just talking to them about it, but you mentioned that they will be getting us a check. Is that the case?
Yes.
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 We got it tonight.
Good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions regarding the bills? Right, we have a motion and a second to pay bills.
Babcock,
Yes.
Mead,
Yes.
Rhoda,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
and Ray.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right, you also have in your documents year-to-date revenue and expenditures report through August 31st. Want to take a look at those, and this came to you a little late, I believe, so we can address it in 2 weeks. You have time to digest it, and perhaps the treasurer will be in attendance in a
I
couple
think
of
he's
weeks.
here virtually tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
is is there?
I know when we received the packet on Friday, this document and was not there yet.
Correct.
And my first time seeing it is now, so I don't. like-
So review it
Review.
and then those questions. All right, moving on then to the consent agenda. Item number 7, you have before you special event permit for hometown holiday be held on December 13th from 3 to 7. Also included in your documents is a budgeted amount. $8,486.01. Perhaps if you approve not to exceed 8,500, just makes it easier.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments?
It will be lower. I've got three sponsorships, 2 more to go.
Great. Right, we have a motion, second.
Mead,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Rhoda.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item number 8. Action on awarding of the contract for Main and Bridge Street pedestrian crosswalk. Now we raised this in the affirmative, and as the committee indicated, it did not want to do that, so go through formality. May I have a motion to approve the expenditure for the pedestrian crosswalk?
So moved.
Second.
The formal vote.
Simon,
Well, yeah, wait, we don't have discussion.
I had a quick question, for Brandon. Right.
What is, we have this motion.
We have a motion to approve, we have a second, and there's a discussion, no?
Well, if your question is about anything related to the striping, he's going to address that in a report, so let's.
So I have to approve it before we.
No, the committee voted that they were not going to do this. It was the unanimous decision that the board was not going to expend that money to do that. And there was going to be the pursuit of an alternate. So Mr. Fox will address the alternate yet later in the report. So we need to dispense with this.
So you're, so that you're anticipating all no votes.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I missed the last meeting, so
I forgot.
No problem.
So we have a motion and a second. So to repeat, the committee of the whole did not recommend spending this. So as a formality, does the board wish to follow the direction of the committee of the whole?
So we're voting.
You would vote no.
No means no, and yes means yes.
Simon,
No.
Rhoda,
No.
Black,
No.
Mead,
No.
Babcock, and Ray.
No.
Thank you.
And I repeat. Mr. Boggs will explain alternate at the end. Right, item number 9. May I have a motion to approve resolution 2025 R53, authorizing the purchase of new chairs and tables for the Porter Park cabin, amount not to exceed $5,500.
So moved.
Second.
Rhoda,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Mead.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item number 10. May I have a motion to approve resolution 2025 R54, approving the purchase of 4 solar speed signs from Traffic Logic in the amount of $14,130.
So moved. Second.
Clock,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Mead,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Rhoda.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item number 11, may I have a motion to approve resolution 2025 R55, a resolution approving the jurisdictional boundary line agreement between the Village of Roscoe and the Village of Machesney Park, and authorizing the execution of the document. And as you looked at it, noted that Swanson Brook, this is just a continuation of the previous 20-year agreement. And Swanson Road becomes the southern boundary of Village of Roscoe.
So moved. Second.
Babcock,
Yes.
Clock,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Rhoda,
Yes.
Mead.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item number 12, may I have a motion to approve resolution 2025 R56, a resolution approving membership in the Mid-States Organized Crime Information Center.
So moved. Second.
Mead,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Rhoda,
Yes.
Clock,
Yes.
Babcock.
Yes.
Thank you.
No new business. Under questions and reports, a couple of things I'd like to say, and then we'll move over to Mr. Boggs. On at each of your places, you have one of these flyers press up your door. If you know of anyone in your neighborhood who has done a great job here in getting ready for fall or Halloween, surprise them, stamp a photo, send it to Ann or Janelle here, and they'll do the rest as far as entering the name and give them the address of it. And they will be entered in this contest. Or if you, as you drive around, if you see anything that's really pretty cool and you want to nominate someone for that, please do so. And speaking of Halloween, I want to give a big shout out. Thank you to Janelle and Ann for the organization and the implementation of all things wonderful that were the village Halloween observation on Saturday. The police department did a great job in directing traffic for, I don't know how many thousands of people. It just grows every year. And Public Works and setting up the parking lot and moving heavy equipment around. So it was a well-attended event, that's putting it mildly. We kind of outgrown the capacity here of Porter Park. And a good time was felt by all. So again, thank you to village staff who put forward a great deal of effort. Really great event. And now on to Mr. Boggs. Will you please fill in everyone about what you learned regarding the alternative crosswalk option and suggestions?
So as you guys recall, that intersection is under the jurisdiction of Winnebago County Highway Department. So following the discussion at the last committee of the whole meeting, obviously a $50,000 project for 2 ADA ramps and some crosswalk striping was pretty high. So talking with the county, we asked, would it be possible for us to just complete the pavement striping improvements? Since it is still technically a safety improvement, it might not necessarily meet ADA standards as far as requiring to upgrade ramps as you complete improvements. But after talking with the county, we did a more thorough review of ADA requirements. And as long as the village has a plan to replace that ramp in the future, which we do as part of the Main Street reconstruction project, that would meet ADA guidelines, and the county was okay with us moving forward with just the pavement striping. So the quotes or the bids that we got from contractors, specifically the line items for the pavement striping, ranged roughly $8,000 to I think $9,700. So we believe if we broke out the pavement striping from that project, we could get that done for $10,000 or less. And so what we would like to do is just solicit quotes from contractors. Countryman Striping, they're the premier striping company in the area. They were the ones who submitted subcontractor bids to the general contractor bids for this project. We would reach out to them, ask them to provide a direct quote to the village to complete that pavement striping. And we would see what the pricing is and then determine if we wanted to move forward. When we reach out to them, staff has discussed, I think what we would ask for is a price to complete that striping this year and then another price to complete it next year. It might be the same, we don't know, but that would be an option for us. We would just get the pricing, bring it back to the council, and then determine if we wanted to do that project this year or next year.
One thing we're just able to do striping, would we be able to entice them by having them do right out front here as well, at the same time?
Absolutely, we could, yeah,
So
so,
that way they're here for a little bit longer, so we might get,
and we're actually in the process of Willowbrook Road between McCurry and Rockton Road is extremely bad. So we will be reaching out to them this week for a quote on that as well, so we will. I mean, technically, we shouldn't, well, I guess it depends, if we're gonna have to separate these projects because some of them might move forward, some of them might not. Now, if we elect to not do any of those this year and we want to wait until spring, obviously we'd have snow plow drivers, driving over paint, maybe damaging the paint. We wanted to wait until the spring, it might be worth it to go out for bid on a project like that and do a village-wide striping project, that's an option. But we will get quotes for these individual projects and then if we would present that as a memo to the board, or we would just bring it back to the next meeting. Obviously, time is of the essence. So our hope is that we would get quotes back by the end of next week at the latest from Countryman to start, and we would bring those price back to you guys, and you would then elect to either move forward or wait until the spring.
Anyone else? Any questions?
Is that another item that if it's not over like 55 degrees or something, it's.
So I know for just traditional paint pavement, the pavement temperature, I shouldn't say I know, I believe if I recall correctly, the pavement temperature has to be 50 degrees or above. Not the air temperature, but the pavement temperature. So if you have sun, even if it's not above 50 degrees, that asphalt retains heat pretty well. I have not done any of that green striping for the bike crossing before, so I'm not super familiar. That's a pretty new standard. I'm not familiar with those specifications. But at the time that we bring that pricing back to you, we would let you guys know if there's any potential issues with constructing that this year.
So to repeat, you anticipate having this information or this report in 2 weeks?
I'm hoping, usually if we get quantities to a contractor within a few days, they can generally provide pricing. So I'm shooting for the end of next week, but absolutely before the first meeting in November, we would have that information.
Thank you. Anyone, any other trustee, any questions? All right, having, let's see, public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the board? Anyone online? No need for executive session. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I
Meeting adjourned, 7:10.